All right, guys, if you're watching this video, I'm proud of you. You completed phase one and you are now an average Joe. Now we got two options here. We can either stay an average Joe or we can go into phase two, and that is becoming a hunter and continue our mission to have the physique of our dreams. All right, now I'm going to go over your two choices. You can either become a hunter or you can become a gatherer. Since you're watching this video now, I'm guessing you want to be a hunter and continue the journey to greatness. I'm going to go over a couple of the differences. Hunters, these are nowadays athletes. You have to be an athlete in order to be a hunter. Otherwise, you're probably not invited to the hunt. So you can either join the boys, hunt down the kill, bring the meat back, become a hero, or you can join the gatherer squad. You can stay back at camp with the women and pick the berries. We need both in this world, but I think I know which one sounds more cool to you. We want to be the hunters, baby, but we have to separate the people. Which men should be the hunters, which men should be the gatherers. So I'm going to go over some of the characteristics of our hunter. Hunters, if you think you're a driven person, if you think you have the manifest destiny for greatness and masculinity, chances are you want to be a hunter. You want the risk and you want the reward. You got to risk it for the biscuit, and you want to challenge yourself for more greatness. And next, you have to be a man of high testosterone if you want to be a hunter. You have to feel that heaviness in your nuts where you either want to fight or you want to fuck, and you want to fight and you want to fuck all the time. And if that's you, you got to join the hunters. You got to strive to complete phase two and become a hunter. But if that doesn't sound like you, if you're more of the guy that likes to kind of lay around and watch television shows all day and jerk off all day, eat chips, eat unhealthy food, you don't want steak, then by all means, go ahead and sit back at camp with the ladies, collect the berries, and be a gatherer. Like I said, we need both in this world, but I'm here to teach you how to be a hunter. The rest of you can leave. I'm going to go ahead and describe to you what it takes to be a hunter, what are the requirements, and continue watching this video. We're going to move on. Guys, now that all the gatherers have quit watching the video, we can continue the lesson on what is it going to take to become a hunter. I'm going to go over the three pillars, and if we accomplish all of them, we will have made it and we will become a hunter. So first pillar I'm going to go over is performance. How physically fit do we have to be to become a hunter? I got 3 benchmarks here. 10 pull-ups consecutively. Number 2, run a mile in under 8 minutes. Strength and cardio are going to be involved in this in order to be a solid athlete. And lastly, be able to do 50 consecutive push-ups, meaning you're not touching your knees on the floor and taking a break. You're doing 50 consecutive push-ups in under 2 minutes. Very militant type of testing. Question is, what kind of training is it going to take to accomplish this? It's going to be very hard to accomplish this doing your at-home workouts and just doing your hill sprints and running and push-ups at home, you know? It's very likely that you're going to want to get yourself in a gym to expedite this journey to becoming this level of athlete. That might even include hiring a personal trainer. You're going to be doing a lot of different lifts, and it's very possible that you could hurt yourself, or you could waste a lot of time because you don't know what you're doing when it comes to structuring a workout plan. If so, I suggest hiring a personal trainer, or even better, you can hire Dave's Fitness here. Been a personal trainer for 10 years. I help you out, expedite your journey on becoming a hunter. All right. If you don't want to hire a personal trainer, I'm going to go over the type of things you need to be doing in the gym. You got to focus on compound lifts, such as bench press, squats, deadlift. Screw around with the dumbbells if you want. Do some biceps curls for the girls, whatever. But you need to be doing these basic fundamental lifts correctly and start building that strength up. Don't start off lifting as heavy as you can. Get the coordination down, understand the movements, and work your way up. Before you know it, you'll be hitting these benchmarks in no time. And that has it for the physical component, pillar number 1. All right, onward to pillar number 2, and that is lean is law. Remember this, I'm going to talk about it in the next video, phase 3 of this series. But lean is law, and remember the golden 20% body fat rule, to never go over 20% body fat again. This is very important, but more importantly, we're aiming for 10% body fat on this phase. We want to be as lean as possible and still defined to find our start point. Our start point is going to be at that 10%, and that is when we can begin our first bulk. I'll throw a few pictures of me up in the past when I was around 10%, but it's basically going to look like, you know, in the movies when those guys are fresh out of boot camp, out of the Marines, you know. They're skinny, but they're lean. They're ready to be hunters. They're ready to be warriors. And I'm going to move on now to the final pillar of this video. Hold tight. All right, guys, it's time to wrap up phase 2. We're going to be talking about the final pillar, pillar number 3, and that would be the hunter diet. What kind of food should we be putting in our body to accomplish our physique goals? And the answer is, in order to look like a hunter, you have to eat like a hunter, which means we're going to be primarily eating animal products, especially meat. I'm talking beef, chicken, fish, especially eggs. Eggs are vital to keep a high testosterone, which is going to help you build muscle more effectively. Also, other than eating whole foods, we also want to eat organic foods. When we're eating our fruits and vegetables, they need to be organic. If it's not organic, it's getting sprayed with things like pesticides and atrazine. That's the stuff that makes the frogs gay. If you have enough of it, it'll probably make you gay. Not that anything's wrong with being gay. Lastly, I want to talk about carbs. Which kind of carbs are okay to eat? And the answer is, I want you mostly focusing on complex carbs for now. Things like sweet potatoes. The reason why I don't want you eating pasta or stuff like that, stuff like bread, is because that stuff's also fortified with all kinds of different acids that aren't very easily comprehensible by the body. They digest slowly. They're going to hold you back and spike your insulin levels. I can get into that in another video, but this is the main diet I want you guys to be following. I'm going to go on to phase 3 in the next video, and we'll get more into depth about our first bulk. Stay tuned. Give me a follow. Keep an eye out for the next video.